Disclaimer: the following narrative is based on open source reports and public claims.
The sky over the Middle East suddenly lights up, not in one country, not at one base, but across multiple locations at the same time. Missile trails cut through the darkness, combat drones move through the night sky. The attack comes from one direction: Iran. The target is not a single installation. The target is the entire network of military bases belonging to United States across the Middle East. This is not a warning. This is retaliation. Days earlier, airstrikes had hit several military facilities inside Iran. Weapons depots, military infrastructure, strategic sites tied to Iran's defense network. The operation was widely linked to coordination between the United States and Israel. For Tehran, this was not just military pressure. It was a direct act of aggression, and in Iran's military doctrine, aggression demands a response, not with statements, but with force. That response finally arrived, fast, coordinated, and far wider than many expected. Iran launched waves of ballistic missiles and combat drones, not toward a single target, but toward a network of American bases across several countries. The strategy was clear: strike multiple points at once, open several fronts in a single night. Some missiles were directed toward U.S. military facilities in Qatar. These bases serve as some of the largest American command hubs in the region, but they were not the only targets. Attack activity was also reported toward U.S. military installations in Kuwait. Meanwhile, bases hosting American troops in Iraq were placed on full alert. Across several locations in the Middle East, air defense radars were working nonstop because threats were approaching from multiple directions, nearly simultaneously. Air defense systems quickly activated. Interceptors were launched. Defense missiles streaked into the sky. Some incoming threats were destroyed before reaching their targets. Bright explosions lit up the night. But in a large-scale attack like this, not every projectile can be stopped. Some missiles still reach base areas. Early reports indicate damage to certain facilities, although full details remain limited. For Iran, this operation carries meaning far beyond simple retaliation. It is a demonstration of capability. Tehran is showing the reach of its missile forces, the ability to strike multiple bases at once, the ability to challenge the American military presence across the region. The message is simple: if Iran is attacked, U.S. bases in the Middle East are within range. In military terms, this is called deterrence through retaliation. In Washington, the strikes triggered immediate concern. American bases had been directly targeted. That crosses a major strategic threshold. U.S. forces across the region quickly raised their alert levels. Additional fighter jets were placed on standby. Naval forces repositioned across the Gulf. Air defense systems were reinforced because one possibility cannot be ignored: follow-up attacks. This situation creates a new reality. The conflict is no longer hidden behind covert operations. Missiles have already been launched. Retaliation has already happened. And now, every next move could reshape the region. If the United States responds militarily again, Iran will likely answer. And if that cycle continues, the confrontation could grow into a wider regional war. The Middle East is not just a battlefield. It is the center of global energy supply. When missiles start flying in this region, markets react immediately. Oil prices begin to move. Global investors become cautious because escalation here can ripple across the entire world economy. For now, the skies above the Middle East may have gone quiet again, but the tension has not disappeared. Iran has shown its reach. The United States is calculating its next move, and the world is watching. Is this just another chapter in a long conflict, or the opening act of something much bigger? History in this region teaches one lesson. Once missiles are launched, the road to escalation becomes much shorter.
İyi mi?